Imagine a school where your social status is out to a vote. The Pyramid Game, where the strong survive, and the weak are crushed. Episode 1 of Pyramid Games opens with a flashback of a student trying to self-harm in the school around other girls from her class. When one of the girls, young Ja-eun, tries to stop her, the student threatens to attack Ja-eun with a knife. Ja-eun tries to stop the student but ends up with a cut on her neck as blood starts dripping to the ground. The episode then moves on to the present day as Soo-ji joins the Baekyeon Girls High School. Being the daughter of a military soldier, Soo-ji is used to adjusting to new schools from time to time. Soo-ji meets the homeroom teacher, Mr. Lim, who tells her she will be a student in Year 2 Class 5. Soo-ji introduces herself to the class and observes how the students are not welcoming. Soo-ji's background of frequently changing schools has honed her ability to read situations. She also learns that Class 5 is located on a different floor compared to the other classes, and is the only class on their floor. However, Soo-ji is confused when she notices that Classes 4 and 6 are both situated next to each other, with Class 5 being the only exception. Soo-ji is made to sit next to Ja-eun, who appears to have several cuts and wounds as well as band-aids on her body. Soo-ji makes an effort to avoid Ja-eun. Some of the other girls from class, including Hareen, befriend Soo-ji. On Soo-ji's first day, the class representative, Seo-do asks the girls to go to the auditorium for music class. There she notices the teacher picking on Ja-eun for being tardy and late. Even the teachers condone the bullying of the student. Here the music teacher picks on Ja-eun but lets others do as they please. Even though most of the teachers see what's happening, they choose to ignore it. The class watches Yerim's performance next. Soo-ji learns that Yerim is soon to debut as an idol, and is one of the most popular girls in class. The next day, Soo-ji thinks about her social hierarchy in the class, and tries to befriend more students. Soo-ji has a clear disdain for Ja-eun and pledges to avoid her at all costs. Just like in real life, who your friends are determines how others view you. Surround yourself with winners and people view you as a winner, and the reverse is true. As time passes by, Soo-ji notices how Class 5 is the only class in the cafeteria and how the students from other classes do not associate with the Class 5 girls. One day, Soo-ji witnesses Ja-eun being tied and beaten up in the sports room by the school bullies, Da-yeon, Woo-yi and Sol-ha. She asks Ja-eun to report the students and leaves a few band-aids for Ja-eun. Soo-ji doesn't want to get involved in the bullying, she just wants to get through high school. She advises Ja-eun to report the bullying, or transfer if she is scared. Ja-eun asks Soo-ji to go to class as it was the last Thursday of the month. Soo-ji enters the class and learns all about the pyramid game. Dua asks Soo-ji to download the app, and cast her vote for 5 students from the class. Each student can be placed in ranks between A and D. Dua reveals that the student with the most votes will go to rank A, and will enjoy certain privileges over the other students with lower ranks in comparison. So here's how the game works. Everyone in the class gets 5 votes. They can only vote for 5 different people, they can't vote for the same person twice, and they can't vote for themselves. After voting, the students are separated into different ranks. From rank A to rank D. Depending on the amount of votes a student gets, they could end up in any of these ranks. Those who get votes are protected. Those with the most votes go to rank A and they get certain privileges. Having 0 votes puts you at rank F. The biggest privilege those in rank A get, is that they get to bully those in rank F, without any consequences. Those in rank A can only bully those in rank F, in other words those without any votes. The votes are held, every last Thursday of the month. Soo-ji is sure she will receive at least a few votes, due to the few friends she has made since coming to the school. But is dejected when she sees she has 0. The girls who were friends with Soo-ji are now ranked above her and thus refuse to interact. Being an outcast with rank F, Soo-ji starts getting attacked by the school bullies. Given her father's military background, Soo-ji tries to stand up for herself and refuses to let the bullies walk over her. But the bullies are stronger, and she gets beat up. Their others in class just ignore it. One of the rules is that nobody can go against rank A. Soo-ji goes to the restroom to clean herself up and notices how the bullies have left no bruises on her. She learns that by signing up for the Pyramid Game app, she has waived off her rights to report the bullying and hazing that has taken place with her. The game is framed as a voluntary choice, but in reality, it's a coercive system that forces students to participate. By default, those who don't play along are automatically relegated to the bottom tier, making it a choice. That's really no choice at all. This highlights the ways in which the game exploits and manipulates the students, using social pressure and fear of exclusion and being put to grade F to control their behavior. It's commentary on how systems of oppression often masquerade as voluntary, when in fact they're deeply rigged against certain individuals or groups. One day, after an argument with Ja-eun in the cafeteria, Soo-ji decides to use the CCTV footage on their floor to gather evidence of the bullying. However, to her surprise, the CCTV cameras have been taken down. She turns on voice recording on her phone, but Woo-yi snatches her phone to turn it off. She warns Soo-ji about her attempts at collecting evidence against the group. Soo-ji wants to stop the bullying, and her attempt to gather evidence is futile and shows her naivety, but she grows from the setbacks more determined to survive the bullying. This also means whoever runs the game has enough power to get rid of the cameras. After learning that Soo-ji is on her period, Woo-yi steals the sanitary pads from Soo-ji's locker and cuts them up in front of her. She also tells the other students to refrain from lending pads to Soo-ji to further trouble her. Soo-ji finds it impossible to survive in this environment and decides to find a solution to the pyramid game. Unlike Ja-eun, who does nothing about the bullying, Soo-ji decides to fight the game so she can live normally. It can be argued that the reason Soo-ji wants to take down the game is because she is the target, and I think that's true. She also could have just accepted the bullying and tried to live with it, but she doesn't like to be threatened or living under someone's thumb. At the moment we don't why Ja-eun doesn't fight the game. I'm sure we will see her reasons in the upcoming episodes. She looks into the pyramid game ranking and learns that Ja-eun, despite being the most popular girl in class, was a rank B student, while Ja-eun, Woo-yi and Sol-ha were rank A students who got the privilege of bullying rank F students. She also notices how Ja-eun and she were the only two students with 0 votes. Soo-ji looking into the vote shows she doesn't just accept things as they are. And this is where her doubt about the game begin. Ja-eun is the most popular one in class, so it would make sense for her to have the most votes, but she doesn't. Ja-eun contemplates ending her life by jumping into an empty swimming pool, but decides against it. Soo-ji tries to convince Ja-eun to pair up with her, to bring down the social hierarchy of the game, but Ja-eun refuses to do so. Meanwhile, Soo-ji continues to be bullied by Ja-eun and her minions, trying to beat Soo-ji or push her around any chance they get. Soo-ji and Ja-eun have completely different ways to approach the game. At the moment we don't much about Ja-eun, but we can see she takes the abuse, she doesn't try to fight it. Meanwhile Soo-ji tries to fight the game, and figure out how to get out of rank F. Soo-ji attempt to recruit Ja-eun shows she can think strategically, and sees the value in alliance, especially in a popularity contest. At the end of the day, that is exactly what this game is. It's a popularity contest. Ja-eun announces to the class that they could also bully Soo-ji for a day, and all the students of class 5 begin messing with Soo-ji. Out of all the other students in class, Harin is the only one who is nice to Soo-ji and tries to help her out. Soo-ji suspects that the bullies are not the mastermind behind the pyramid game, and concludes that the true mastermind was trying to camouflage themselves. She runs into Yoon-biel, the class loser, who asks Soo-ji to meet her in the music room in private. Yoon-biel confesses that she was friends with Ja-eun, and had exchanged votes with a different student, leaving Ja-eun with 0 votes, making her a rank F student. Soo-ji learns that Yoon-biel wants to help Ja-eun get out of rank F. This could explain Ja-eun's reluctance to team up with Soo-ji. Ja-eun was once betrayed by her friend. Soo-ji is in English class as she thinks about her conversation with Yoon-biel. Yoon-biel claims that Ja-eun was the social butterfly of the class. After class, the bully trio force live worms down Soo-ji's throat. Soo-ji pushes them away and spits the worms out. She wonders why the other students are ignoring her. Woo-yi tries to pick up the worms from the ground, in an attempt to stuff them back into Soo-ji's mouth. She hums a song which reminds Soo-ji of something. At the same time, a student from class 5 is smoking in the school board member, Cho Yi-hwa's office. Ja-eun shows up there and the student tries to poke the burning cigarette into her eye. Ja-eun asks the girl to stop and agrees to do anything the girl wants. The mysterious student is probably the mastermind behind the game. A flashback from 1 month ago shows the school principal talking to the mysterious girl about Soo-ji, the new transfer student who's going to join the school. The girl asks the principal to place Soo-ji in class 5. Back in the present day, the mysterious girl enters the class with Soo-ji on the ground. To Soo-ji's surprise, the girl is none other than Baekyeon, the class' most popular girl, the one with the most votes in the game, who orchestrated Soo-ji's entry into class 5 as a replacement for Ja-eun. That was unexpected, but then again, in survival games, the one who is nice to the protagonist usually turns out to be a bad guy. Something that bothers me is that Ja-eun is the most popular girl in the class as she is an aspiring idol. But she is only in rank B, while Harin is not that popular, but she got the most votes. I wonder how she gets the votes. I'm sure it will be addressed in future episodes. Before the reveal I would have sworn that Ja-eun was the bad guy. As the episode ends we are left with a lot of questions. Like who started the game and why? How did the game even start? I think the game is the reason the class is separated from the rest of the school. If that is true, that would mean the person who created the game has enough power to make that happen. The show is not lighthearted. The scenes of Soo-ji being bullied are hard to watch. This episode explores themes of social hierarchy, bullying, conformity, and the struggle for agency and control. We see the consequences of a system that rewards aggression and exploitation, and the toll it takes on its victims. Through Soo-ji's efforts to challenge the status quo, we glimpse the potential for resistance and change. What sets Pyramid Game apart from other survival dramas like Squid Game is its unique twist. The game never changes. Every day, the students play the same game, with the same objective: to avoid being at the bottom of the social hierarchy. It's a constant struggle to form alliances, make friends, and climb the ranks. The game is not about physical challenges or puzzles, but about social manipulation and strategy. Who will rise to the top, and who will be left behind? The stakes are high, and the consequences of failure are dire. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of Pyramid Game, one thing is clear: the stakes are high, and the consequences of playing the game will be devastating. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the world of Baekyeon Girls High School and the characters who inhabit it.